Reality of Crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? I hope you guys can hear me. I was having a little bit of a technical difficulty on the background. My headphones weren't working. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Jay with Guilty of Crime, and we're back, guys. Hopefully, you all can hear me. What's up? Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Get a membership if you can. What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Yesterday, when I got off the stream, I went and put a freaking shirt on that said Friday. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My wife said, "It's not Friday, babe." And I said, "But I'm wishing it was. I can wear a shirt that says Friday on a Monday." What's up, everybody? Good to see you back. You guys know the drill. Sarah Grace, teen, cried on TikTok after killing her parents. Right? According to police, are there more suspects? Well, possibly. Now, if you've heard this somewhere else, you haven't heard it from me, Jay, at Guilty of Crime, Sarah Grace Patrick. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. You probably saw this circulating by now. Check this out. All right. Have you heard of it? Let me know. Come on in, guys. Sound and look great. Thank you so much, Kel. How you doing? Teresa, good to see you. 420 gifted membership coming on up. And yes, we can see you. Yes, we can, Bree. She's a little psychopath. Absolutely. And guess what, guys? The biggest part of this story today that just boggles me, first of all, we want justice for her parents. People are starting to victim blame Kristin Brock and James Brock. Grandpa of Sarah is saying that James Brock was affiliated with biker gangs earlier on. We're going to get into all that, but we don't victim blame around here. I think Sarah and her grandpa are looking to victim blame in this case. I really think that she's trying to get I know she's trying to get attention, folks, but what I think is that she's trying to get attention even more so by saying that her parents abused her, etc. That's what I see coming in this case, and I'll tell you why very soon. Nope, not today. Says, "Hey everyone, I'm still trying to adjust my time zone. I'm on the same as Jay." So we're right now, it's 4:06 p.m. And what I gotta say to you guys, this teen I believe it's Carrollton, either Carrollton or Carrollton. I think Carrollton, Georgia. All right. 17-year-old Sarah Grace Patrick has been charged now with taking the life of her mother and stepfather, Kristin and James Brock. They were both found shot dead in their beds on February 20th, 2025 in Carroll County. All right. At their home. So you guys roll on in. I don't want to get started yet all the way until you guys are here. I know this is probably not, in the algorithm topic, but you know what? That's what we're talking about today. Justice for Kristin Brock and James Brock. Have you all heard of this before? I think you might have. I see a lot of people in chat. Yeah, just because you're in a biker gang doesn't mean you're a bad parent, and nothing that led up to this says that. I do believe that she's using that as her self-defense. Definitely trigger warning. Today's topic may be triggering. All right. And she did take both of her stepdad and her mom's life, and she read a eulogy about them, and that's what police really honed in on. Police heard her giving the eulogy about her parents at their funeral, and they said, wait a minute, my red flags are going up. Not only that, guys, but she reached out to three, count it, three TikTokers, and wanted them to take the story and help her solve the crime of who took her parents' life, who shot them in their bed to death. All right. So, first TikToker she reached out to was allegedly, reportedly, we're going to go over that. And then Jade Talks Crime, and then a family friend of hers that is a TikToker. All right. So, I looked all of this up. We're going to go over it today. Sarah Grace Patrick is now charged after months and months of her going on platforms, making a poor me situation, and then contacting TikTokers to take the story. Now, on February 20th, 2025, Kristin, who is her mom, 41 years old, and James Brock, 45, they were discovered unalived from gunshot wounds in their bedroom. Sarah was then 16. She called 911 after her 5-year-old sister at the time found the bodies of her parents. All right, guys. So are you with me? Come on in, hit that like button, subscribe, and then share with your friends. Good to see you, Clark. How you doing, Shelly? Foxy baby. All right. So how many people have seen this? Have you guys watched this? I know Plunder has the 911 call and mixed into some other things, but we're gonna listen to a lot of this and take a look at it today. It's wild, guys. And tomorrow we're gonna cover another new case, and we're gonna cover a momster who sold her daughter for $400, you guys. So tomorrow we're gonna listen to Jen Soto 2.0. She tried to sell her daughter for actual favors for $400. All right. You say she not only offed her parents, but she also traumatized her little sister for life. That I can't agree on. Now, on February 20th, 2025, 6 days after Valentine's Day, okay, 6 days after Valentine's Day, she took their lives, called 911, let her 5-year-old sister find the bodies. Now, from February to June of 2025, guys, we're July 15th today. Sarah posted a series of emotional TikToks mourning her parents. As you can see, her tears in that picture down there, selfies and tributes. One post eerily stated, they don't know it, but a year from now, me and my 5-year-old sister would find them wrongfully shot dead in our home. Right now, investigators were looking at that closely since there were only 2 people in the house that were alive. On July 8th, guys, now this is July 15th. 7 days ago, after months of investigation involving local, state, and federal agencies, Sarah turned herself in, guys. She literally turned herself in. She accompanied by her biological father. She was charged with 2 counts of the big M word and 2 counts of aggravated assault. All right. So hope you guys are here with me. This is wild. I think Kristin and James should get the justice they deserve. Now, I know they're not children, and we normally cover children on my channel, but this was a child that really traumatized her 5-year-old, then 6-year-old sister, and she was a child. How can a child do that to her parents? She was 16 at the time, you guys. What's up, Criddles? It's been way too long, my friend. Good to see you. All right, so you hear what's happening here? This little girl that was 16 at the time played this all out, and she played her whole family. She played the police. Well, she thought she was playing the police, guys, but they were onto her. Now, her TikTok activity and outreach, her social media presence, which we're going to take a look at that. All right, we're going to take a look at that for sure. Her social media presence became a focal point of the investigation. Her TikTok account is now deactivated, but she posted mournings that we're going to show on here. She mourned her parents with emotional music and captions that said, "Save a seat for me in heaven." Then the funeral eulogy that some attendees described as fake crying raised huge red flags and suspicions. So we're going to go on to the allegedly reportedly who said that she asked her to cover her parents' death. She said, "Why would you ask me to cover a case where you're going to get arrested for taking your parents' lives?" What? Now, Kelly Brown is another TikToker that's a family friend of the Brocks who shared that Sarah contacted her to speak on her behalf about the night of the big M words. All right. Now, the authorities are citing that there are mountains of physical and digital evidence, and they're still looking at other possibilities of somebody that may have helped in the case. Remember, there was a GUN in this case, guys. So in this case, they haven't found that we know about just yet. All right. So that's not good. That's scary. So we're going to listen to this clip and start getting into all of the things. What's up, guys? Yeah, you can call it red rum. I can call it the big M. I can call it the M, whatever we want there. You call it what you want. I'll be here listening. My 4-year-old with autism is a tornado and won't let me chat. No worries, Liv Wade. Good to see you. Chris, how you doing? All right, guys, we're going to get into this. Be ready. If you're triggered, I'm letting you know now. This is a pre-triggering case altogether. All right, so let's take a look at this. We'll start off with this. You're going to hear this music. To me, it reminds me of when you see that Sarah McLachlan video, In the Arms of an Angel, with the dogs being abused. Yeah, that's what this reminds me of. Like, poor little thing, look at my tears, I'm mourning. Why me? Well, lady or little girl Sarah Grace, you're the one that did this to your parents. Now what? All right, good to see you, Missing Jax. How you doing? Yeah, this is awful, guys. Buckle up because you're in it today. All right.
The posts pull at your heartstrings. One after another appearing to show Georgia teen Sarah Grace Patrick crying after authorities back in February said someone shot and killed her mom and stepdad, Kristin and James Brock, in their Atlanta area home.
Rain and thunder, the pain I'm under.
This video showing what appears to be her mother's remains in an urn. Another includes a link to a GoFundMe. On the screen, I just want my mama. Tonight, a stunning update from Georgia.
And we're going to play a little bit of that because it's very, very, all right, it's very, very important to hear what happened all the way in this case. I don't think that we're going to cover this whole case in one episode since she was just arrested, and they are looking at other suspects in the case. Again, there's a GUN floating out there that we don't know about. We don't know where it is. Randy B, smash that like. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Georgia investigators.
We can confirm that an arrest has been made in the case.
Yep.
Kristin Brock's 17-year-old daughter, Sarah Grace Patrick, has been taken into custody.
Carroll County authorities confirming Patrick faces 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of aggravated assault. The recent Central High School graduate being charged as an adult, authorities saying her dad brought her to turn herself in Tuesday.
She turned herself in because we notified.
Now remember, that is her biological dad that turned her in with her. All right. She took the life of her stepfather and her mother. I do believe that her defense is going to be a self-defense one. But once I show you everything that I have today, I think you guys will think a little bit different about the case. Cheeky, what's up? Good to see you. Better late than never. We just started.
She had warrants for her arrest.
Authorities remaining tight-lipped about any theories on a motive, but saying they have a mountain of physical and digital evidence and crediting collaborations with the FBI, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation's Crime Lab, even private forensic laboratories. Video online shows Patrick delivering eulogies for her.
Look at that, guys. There's some other little bit deeper because the news station got the whole thing and played it. So we're going to listen to some, we're going to deep dive into this today. It's not a 30-minute episode that just bombs you. It's like a lot, guys. She's at her parents' funeral reading the eulogy, eyebrows raised. This is why the police started looking at her. I got to tell you that right now.
Mom and stepdad.
I was so used to you guys always being here. I didn't have a single clue how much I needed your.
Now, a lot of people say it was like she was giving a speech, like it was an acceptance speech, and she wanted everybody to be like, poor me, including the TikTokers that you'll see in a bit that she reached out to directly to help solve the case. It's absolutely, it's infuriating that this 16-year-old girl at the time would think that she can pull something off. Yeah, Foxy said it right. I was saying it in a nice way, but Foxy just says that's balls giving a eulogy for people that you red rummed. You could say it that way.
No.
The Carroll County Communications Director asked by reporters if they believe she covered up the crime.
Considering that she didn't just immediately tell us what happened, yes. But who knows what's going on in a young person's mind like that? It is an open, ongoing investigation. It's very possible others are involved as well.
The case sparking massive interest online among true crime enthusiasts. One claiming the teen reached out in the months before her arrest looking for help catching her parents' killer.
Why would you ask me to cover a case where you are going to get arrested for taking your parents' lives?
We spoke on the phone and we spoke via text.
This woman, who calls herself a family friend, posting last month that Patrick didn't hear anything on the night of the murders.
And you know what's funny is when most of the time when she posts and when you see her mugshot, she looks like a little girl, guys. She looks like she's about, to me, she looks like she's like 12 or 13 in there. She looks all innocent. And then in the other one, she looks like a grown-ass woman the way she is. And what's up, Holly S? Good to see you, my friend. Che, shout out to you. What's up? All right, let's keep going. We got a long one today.
Except
She did hear James's LVAD machine, which is his heart machine that kept his heart pumping. She did hear that alarm going off throughout the night.
Sarah commenting on that video that she heard the alarm 10 to 20 minutes before going to bed, but said it was faint due to background noise. It's unclear tonight if she has an attorney. Her father posting this quote on Facebook Saturday saying, "To my daughter, never doubt your place in this world."
So now we're going to see this, guys. We're going to see a battle on both sides. We're already seeing Grandpa stepping in and battling for this girl, saying that he thinks that she did not do it. And if she did, it was because she was being abused and maybe there's more help. So that's what we're going to talk about. That's what we're talking about today. Are there more suspects? I'm going to try to help answer that question today. All right. You guys are going to see some evil things today. This is evil. This is evil at its finest.
I see you, I believe in you, and I'll always be in your corner. He told NBC News via phone, "It's just how I feel about my daughter." He said he's brokenhearted, adding it's just too early to speak without an attorney. And quote, "All I can really say is she's innocent until proven guilty."
And Maggie Vespa
she
joins
is.
us now. I mean, Maggie, listening to that Georgia investigator saying, and I'm quoting here, that this is an open, ongoing investigation. She also said possible others could be involved. I mean, what are people that live in the area saying about this seemingly stunning development?
I mean, their minds are blown, Ellison. Keep in mind, this is a small rural area.
Exactly. And Shay or Che, whatever, how you pronounce that, you're from that area, Georgia. Tell me what you think about that in chat. What's up, Foxy Amazon? Hope she just gifted one guilty of crime membership. I hope one of you guys get the membership that wants it. All right. And good for you, Melissa. I'm so proud of you that you're getting your boys back. You're always doing something good. So shout out to you for staying on top of your game, girl. You've been struggling, but you battle. That's what you have to do is battle, guys.
Community about an hour west of Atlanta. This is a really tight-knit place, and suffice it to say, this is really rocking it to its core. It also kind of adds to that mystery that you're talking about, that investigators didn't go into detail as to what they called it, mountain of evidence was. So a lot of people really want to know, how did they figure out that they had enough to arrest her, enough to charge her? And then, as you point out, they said there could be others involved. But we're also seeing people who know the family posting about this case, just saying how shocking it is. One woman who said Kristin, the mom, was her best friend, posted saying that her heart is shattered. She said, "My mind is blown." She goes on to say, obviously, she's innocent until proven guilty, talking about Sarah, but posted, quote, "We are grieving 3 people now with this arrest." Ellison.
NBC's Maggie Vespa, thank you.
See, so it's so triggering that this family is so torn like that. All right. It's very triggering. That's all I have to say about that. There's a lot going on in this case. All right. So let's drop this down. I want to show you a few things. I got one thing that I want to show you first. These are the TikTokers that she reached out to, but I really want to show you that we want to focus on, rather than this girl that's crying wolf. That's what I like to say it. Sarah Grace cried wolf. And thank you, Dawn, Grandma 3, for gifting the one guilty of crime membership. I appreciate you so very much. All right. And Holly, thank you, my friend. And you look at you're on the green team. You're on the green side, or no green team. I don't want to say that. $3.99 for the super sticker with a frog. Thank you. Yeah, her real father is the one that actually went with her to turn herself in. That was her stepfather. But let's not forget not to lose focus on the victims, all right? And this is the message this is one of the TikTokers allegedly report. Let me make sure that's the right one. Yes. Go follow allegedly reportedly. All right.
Because this case isn't about shock or drama or interviews. It is about James and Kristin Brock, 2 lives that were stolen in a brutal way while they laid in their own bed in February of this year.
It's a little low.
I know it's easy when a case gets this big to want to dig things up and find clues and piece everything together. But we have to be so careful when it comes to speculation and digging up people's past and acting like that past is an automatic justification for.
Yeah, this is an important message, and I know it's a little bit low, but it's allegedly reportedly on TikTok was one of the major ones that she reached out to help her solve the M of her parents. And this is important to focus on the victims and what's happening here rather than speculating, right?
Losing your life in your own bed. And the people that are saying, oh, so-and-so may also be arrested, they may have something to do with this. First off, you're talking about a very young person. And if it turns out that he is not connected to this case, he now has a reputation that is at least somewhat tarnished online for the rest of his life, because people are posting his photo and connecting him to this case before there's any official information to say that's accurate. So I just want to acknowledge there are shocking parts about this case, but speculation, rumors, that needs to stop. These are victims of a crime. Now, a few days ago, I came on here and told you one good thing we could do. Most of us know that one of the most tragic parts of this case is James and Kristin's 5-year-old daughter was the one to find them.
You look
no
good and
longer
green.
alive. So there was a wish list up for her. She's now 6 years old, and y'all bought that wish list up.
Now, the 6-year-old she's referring to, folks, is the sister, the little sister that found the parents' bodies in their bed, unalived. Okay, so I hope that they take care of that child. I don't think that the child, I believe that the child's in custody. I think they have custody. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they're with family members. I think she may have gone outside the family. I hope I'm wrong by now. Yeah, green. Yeah, that little girl's going to be scarred forever.
Family is very grateful. And now there is just one more wish list that I have linked in my bio. It is James's son. This family is going through a lot right now. So if you are able to help in any way with items that are on that wish list for him, please do so. And if you can't get anything off of the wish list, I completely understand. Times are hard for everybody, but you could maybe share this video or make a video of your own talking about it. I just want to help this family any way we can right now. I cannot imagine all of the turmoil, devastation.
Yeah, so let's focus on that. If you see that, make sure you're donating to the right GoFundMe. What's up, Kalisa? How you doing? All right, I want to take a look here at this lady's page, because we have not only allegedly reporting, but we have Jade Talks Crime as well. And there's some pretty important posts they have. I'm going to pull this down, but I want to show you the TikTok pages. Let me share this here. So this is allegedly reporting. You can see she has a lot of subs. Now, this particular one got 4.9 million. And this is what started this case. I think this hit on this social media before anywhere else. Let's look at this.
Why would you ask me to cover a case where you are going to get arrested for taking your parents' lives? Y'all, this is Sarah Grace, and she messaged me back on June 3rd and just said, search up Brock case. So I said, Brock Turner? Brock who? She said, Kristin and James Brock. Hold on. They're my parents. And out of nowhere, a random Thursday night in February, someone came in my house with me and my 5-year-old sister, and my parents left them for me and my little sister to wake up to. Technically, it was a Wednesday night because I found them Thursday morning. And I said, not knowing she was going to wind up arrested for this, I am so sorry. I cannot imagine. I will absolutely research and cover their case. Please take care of you always. Again, not knowing, and I covered it. 17-year-old daughter arrested for parents in Carroll County.
Isn't that
On Tuesday
creepy?
afternoon, Carroll County Sheriff's Office announced that they have arrested 17-year-old Sarah Grace Patrick.
That's so
She is
creepy,
facing
guys.
2 murder charges and 2 aggravated assault charges. The girl that asked me to cover the case has been arrested. As you can see here, James Brock was 45 and his wife, Kristin, was 41. Rest in peace to them. They were both.
Absolutely, guys. But you see what happened here? He knows she's guilty. Everybody knows, well, she's innocent until proven guilty. But do you see what just happened there? She went directly to this TikToker. Now, you know, a lot of younger folks use TikTok, right? I'm sure a lot of people do, but a lot of younger folks use TikTok. And I want to show you the other one that she reached out to. There were 3 of them that she wanted to cover this case. Now, is she doing it for the 15 minutes of fame? Did she do it for that, or did she do it to outsmart? I don't understand. I'm not sure. I can't understand what it is that she wanted to, what the notoriety of that was, like what she got out of that. It just doesn't make sense to me that she would do all that just to get 15 minutes of fame. Let's take a look at Jade Talks Crime real quick. So 2 of the channels that she went to were fairly big, 115,000 followers. And you're going to see it right here. Sarah Grace.
As you can see, she reached out to me back in May. Shocked. Well, she also left like 3 comments on like 3 different videos. And I've been trying to find them. As soon as I find them, I can show you that too. But I have to go through like a ton of comments and a ton of videos. And plus, TikTok keeps deleting comments off my videos. Why? I don't know. But here she is. Crazy. As you can see,
and now you can go to her page, but it doesn't exist anymore. They pulled it down. I'm going to show you a friend of Sarah's, and then we're going to move on. This is a friend of Sarah's and what she says about her.
As someone who used to be friends with Sarah Grace Patrick and know people that knew her ex-boyfriend, went to school with her, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about what I know about the case and about being friends with her and some things that you guys are getting wrong about the case.
What's up?
So, first off, Jackson and Sarah were dating back in 2023. They broke up and during winter of 2023. Jackson had nothing to do with Sarah's case. Nothing. They just coincidentally ended up being arrested.
All right, so remember, they're posting and welcome. Thank you for the Guilty of Crime membership. I see a lot of folks in here today that I haven't seen before, and I got to take a warning about a couple of them. I see an Alice person on here. Let's Alice, where are you? I saw that name coming through. Shout out to them, I guess. I'm not sure who it is, but I want you guys to remember that all the people that pop up on here that are new, I don't know. The chat's flying. There's people that I've never seen that come in and come out, and it always makes me curious of who it is. But I want you to know, I don't know who any of you are. Just keep that in mind. Jen's a Gypsy's on here, and half the time I can't tell if that's her or someone else. I don't know who hides behind these names. And Jen's a Gypsy, I'm just using you as as an example. You're like the teacher's pet here. What's up, Only Me Baby? Yeah, I see a lot of new people in here that I've never seen. So it just makes me go, Che, I know you're in the local area. Thank you for being here, and you're very welcome for the membership. All right. Yeah, Jen's a Gypsy. I just had to pick on you for a minute.
Around the same time. It was not the same day. It was not a day before. It was 5 days before she got arrested. He got arrested for totally, completely different things than she got arrested for.
Yeah.
So also, her boyfriend did not turn her in. Her dad brought her to the jail. She turned herself in because she had warrants out for her arrest. She was going to be found anyways, so she already went and turned herself in. Here's a few things about Sarah that would shock you for her to even do this, and this is why we didn't suspect anything about it. Going to school with her and being her friend, she was super sweet. She always wanted to be friends with people. As someone else said, when they were telling us about like them being friends, she would always give notes to people that were crying. She'd always come up to you. She'd always give you food. She just wanted to be liked. And that's why it was so surprising to us that she would even do this, even though she did end up in mental hospitals.
She ended up in mental hospitals. And that was one thing I heard, is that she may have a mental self-defense as well, guys. And I got to tell you, she reminds me of that one girl that took took the life. It's a first person that's ever been prosecuted for making someone take their own life. And she did it by text message. Michelle, we just talked about it last week. Michelle something or other. I cannot remember who it was. Mo, shout out $2. My first time hearing this case. It's insane. This is a friend of Sarah Grace Patrick talking about this. All right. So this is wild. What was her name? She by text message, she had a boyfriend and she literally, Michelle Carter. I knew you guys would. I knew it. Michelle Carter. This is like a knockoff Michelle Carter that wants to be in the spotlight, did some crazy thing, planned it, executed it, and then put herself in the spotlight. Michelle Carter did the same thing. She went into the family and said, "Oh my God, I was his girlfriend," and she just put herself right in the front of the case. Thank God she did a little bit of time. Yeah, she made that boy get in his truck and put the generator on, and it took his life. All right. And that boy that went in the truck, whenever I think about the boy that went in the truck, I think about somebody like Wyatt, somebody that's cool, that's open, that's like, hey, wants an approval, 16, trying to learn from somebody right there. I believe that this girl wants her 15 minutes of fame and wanted to put herself in the middle of the investigation, and she certainly did.
Every time she would come back, she was a totally different person. She was nice. She looked better.
Yep.
She sounded better.
Thank you.
She acted better. The only thing that caught my eye about her was that she was very much kind of, she always showed cleavage. She always wanted male attention, not hating on her and not defending her either at all. What she did was really wrong and really messed up. I'm not going to say what I think about the case because I already had my mind set when the case came out. I already knew who did it. Like, I just knew in my body. Like, I had a calling that I knew who did it. Honestly, it's high school, so we all know how high school is going to be. So people are going to talk bad about
This case is wild, man. I'm so glad that I'm starting to cover this case because I really want to know what the heck happened in this case. And I want to see justice for those parents and that little girl that found their bodies. Barb C., you're such a sweetheart. Thank you for the 5 guilty of crime memberships. And yeah, Conroy Roy, he was the 3rd. May that boy rest in peace, guys. Local. Sarah, Charles, thank you for being here. You're a local. We're all shocked. I hope you guys all got a membership, the ones that wanted them. All right, let's keep going.
about people, and that's just kind of what happened with her. But I just wanted to give you my point of view of being friends with her and talking to her so that you guys could kind of understand why our entire town was shook when we found out she did it. Allegedly she did it, so we're still waiting on why she did it, or even if she did it.
I think we all want to know.
We know she did. Anyways, that's it. That's all I have to say. But yeah, sorry if I talk too much.
I think we all
Also, not to
agree.
mention, this message right here,
So
that
shocking.
my hand, a little suspicious. We all knew, baby. Like, we all knew. As someone who used to be
All right,
friends with
we're all done with that. Sorry, I got a little bit sidetracked for a second. Very crazy, very crazy. Charisse, this is in Georgia. So if you're wondering about people that say I'm local, this is Carrollton, Georgia. I hope I'm saying it right. It looks like Carrollton, Georgia. I haven't heard them say Carrollton, but it is in Georgia, folks. All right, so let's get to it. There's a lot today in this case I want to show you, and TikTok is what it circled around. That's why I'm showing you a bunch of TikTokers and a bunch of TikTok. I want to show you the Jade real quick.
So apparently, the FBI thinks that girl possibly maybe Summer Wells. Allegedly, the FBI is currently at the house.
Oh, wait, this is not.
You guys remember?
I'm sorry. I showed you this one. I'm going to stop this. So you guys can go over to Jade Talks Crime, and allegedly, reportedly, if you follow people on TikTok, I can't vouch for this woman because I don't know her, but I used her stuff just now. So I'm going to say, go check them out. Okay. I don't know anything bad about them. There's 111 people in chat. Say a prayer that the Brocks get justice, you guys. Okay. All right. Let's pull this down. This is wild. I don't do TikTok either unless I need to reference a case and somebody sends me there, but I don't normally just go on TikTok. I don't have my attention span just doesn't do the whole swiping thing. I'm too much of a squirrel. All right, so we're going to take that off, and I am going to say thank you. The reason that Plunder even shares this stuff is because we pay for it, right? So we go over there. She did an episode on this as well. I live in Georgia, and you pronounced it correctly. Well, thank you. It's Carrollton, Georgia. All right. So Plunder also covered this. I'm not using her coverage, but I'm using the documents that she let us share. All right. Sarah's Telltale. Look at the difference between her, guys. Look at the picture of her there, and then look at the picture of her there. Do you see look at the left and then look at the right? She looks like a 12-year-old girl on the right, and she looks like to me, a 23-year-old. You know what I'm saying? All right. So let's take a look at some of this stuff here. I want you to see the Brocks. All right. May they rest in peace. There's nothing that they could have done, in my opinion, to deserve being shot to death in their bed. Do you understand that? Nothing warrants that behavior ever. All right. So may they rest in peace. Let's take a look at some of the affidavit for arrest. I really do like looking at documents like this. Sarah Grace Patrick, resident of Carrollton County. All right. This is the big red rum. A person commits the offense of red rum when in the commission of a felony, he causes the death of another human being, irrespective of malice to wit. Sarah Grace Patrick committed this said offense during the act of aggravated assault against Kristin Brock, resulting in her death. This offense is a felony, and it occurred in Carroll County, Georgia. Right? Signed, dated, state warrant for arrest. Now, she came in because she had a warrant out for arrest. Multiple, right? Victim, Kristin Brock. I believe that would be her sister, all right? They don't normally say the name, all right? They don't normally say the name, and they don't normally say the name because it's a child or a minor, all right? All right, so let's keep going. Thank you, guys. Hello, everybody. Yeah, we do the best to raise our kids. We do not deserve to be shot in our beds. And Kalisa says the worst thing she did was purposely let her 5-year-old sister discover her mom and dad's bodies. She is evil for that alone. And I agree. All right. I agree. Shout out to you, Lynn. I love Vermont. All right. All right. Let's keep going. I want to look at the affidavit for arrest. Sarah Grace. This is for James Brock. So number 2, guys. Number 2. All right. James Brock. This was her committing offense of red rum in the commission of a felony of James Brock, resulting in death. Number 2, felony that occurred in Carroll County, Georgia. All right. Then we've got the third one. And this is a person commits an offense of aggravated assault when he or she assaults with a deadly weapon. When used offensively against a person, it's likely to or actually does result in serious bodily harm. Sarah Grace Patrick did not commit the said offense when she assaulted Kristin Brock with a deadly weapon, handgun, striking her multiple times. Dear Lord, this is getting worse and worse, guys. Worse and worse. Assaulted Kristin Brock. So she pistol whipped her? All right, signed in date, Carroll County, guys. Just imagine that. This is heartbreaking, guys. She came in with malice intent, with a GUN, pistol whipped her mom, and then shot her. She destroyed her family, and including her sister. You're absolutely right that she did that. And then she thwarted herself into the spotlight. She wanted 15 minutes of fame and to ask for them. What just happened? Yeah, we're going to get into that. We haven't even got into any of that, really. My God. All right. So she pistol whipped. There you go. Entry of appearance. All right. So they're state of Georgia versus Sarah Patrick. Defendant, certificate of service, signed, dated, Superior Court. Let's go. All right. Notice of defendant's election to proceed under official code of Georgia. All right. Comes down, Sarah Patrick, defendant. All right. You see prosecuting attorneys, certificate of service. They got it locked and loaded. Charges red rum. All right. So she's got serious charges here, and it's in Carroll County. The defendant asserts her presumption of innocence, of course, until proven guilty. All the fun legal jargon, certificate of service, signed date, Latoya Williams, Georgia, July 11th, guys, 2025. We're on July 15th. This is 4 days ago. All right. So look at the difference here. Look at the difference. And I couldn't find her account because it was deleted, but look at the picture of her there, and then look at the picture of her in her mugshot. She doesn't look anything like it. I did not hear anything about her parents being DRUG'd, guys. All right. I can't imagine. Can you imagine having to sleep with one eye open? Literally. I don't know much about this case. Thanks for the info, Jay. Shout out to you. We do true crime every day. We want a case a day. So if you guys have something, guilty of crime by j@gmail.com, please send me a message. All right. All right. Nope, nope, and nope. Nope, nope, and nope. I got a big fat nope for you mods in chat. I'm going to tell you right now. All right, just be careful of, you know how we do today. All right, Vermont, shout out to you. All you guys, thanks for being here. All right, look at her there. All right, Sarah Grace, 17 years old, charged with red rumming her parents, and the 911 dispatch audio is there. I want to listen to it, but I don't know if it's timestamped. Oh, there it is.
She had.
All right, let's listen to this real quick. I wanted to listen to the audio, but I didn't want to have to go through the whole thing. Take a look. And again, you can see this is Plunder's 911 dispatch audio. I do want to hear what she said to the police.
And any idea what her motive was when she made the confession?
We are still working with her diligently. Our investigators have been speaking with her.
It is correct that she was the one who made the 911 call, correct?
Yes.
Michelle Carter.
Did investigators begin to focus on her as the suspect?
So I believe in the beginning of any case, everyone's a suspect. I think I told many of you that when we were on scene that day. However, as an investigation continues and everything ebbs and flows, like I said in my press release, mountains of evidence has gotten us through here today. Lots of processing, lots of working with our law enforcement partners to get us to where we are today that honed in on her as a suspect.
Do you believe that she tried to cover this up in any way over the course of these months? You know, we've even seen some videos on social media of somebody saying, you know, I'm
Man, and that's not just filtering, folks. I mean, there are filters, and then there is this little girl that was 16 years old that did this. And you look at her here with those dark eyes, dark evil eyes, guys. She probably has blue eyes, but when I see them, they look like the devil to me. All right. So look at her. Just Josie says dinner with Jay. And you know, I'd have dinner with you any second if I didn't have to talk and chew at the same time. Thank you guys so much for being here for this case. All week long, we have all new cases. So come here, 4:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Every day, guys.
making this message on behalf of the daughter. Do you believe she's tried to get people to cover up that?
Considering that she didn't just immediately tell us what happened, yes. But who knows what's going on in a young person's mind like that. But she has been arrested and charged now, and we feel confident that she is responsible for their murders. But like I said, it is an open, ongoing investigation. It's very possible others are involved as well.
What was the key break in the case?
Just evidence, being able to go through evidence, being able to use private laboratories, being able to use GBI Crime Lab. You know, when you're processing stuff, like I said, it doesn't come back in an hour. So we've been filtering through, and there's still evidence left to process.
You know that the digital evidence, I assume.
So they're looking at a lot of digital evidence, and the evidence inside of the home is hard for them to process since she lived there. And Carly Gregg is another one. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Crazy Noobs. What's up? Breakfast with Jay. Shout out. Yes, Carly Gregg and Michelle Carter was absolutely the one that took that young boy's life. Conrad, poor boy, may he rest in peace. Conrad was on a path to success if he wanted it, and it's all gone now because that Michelle Carter encouraged him to take his life. And I just posted today, guys. Posted today on Ghost about Save a Fox, Michaela Raines, and how she took her life. Very sad. She was found hanging in her barn. Again, trigger warning. Michaela Raines unalived herself from Save a Fox, and they just let it out today that they found her hanging in her barn due to the bullying over the years. So very sad. May she rest in peace as well. Man.
That's text messages, emails. Was there some type of a trail that led you that way?
There's always a lot of evidence. I won't go into exactly what it is because it is an open, ongoing investigation, but we have mountains of evidence.
What about the social media, your TikTok, that type of stuff? Any of that going to be used?
That will be up to the prosecuting attorney, and they'll work diligently with our investigators to make the case go forward towards trial or whatever they decide to do.
Was that the younger daughter, the youngest child that found them?
I believe that.
Yeah, this is a really good press conference. I didn't want to play the whole thing. There's just clips of it, but Ghost is like Patreon. It's the Patreon for me. Yeah, Michaela Raines. All right. So if one of the mods could drop a link to the Ghost account, it's free. You can go sign up and join Ghost for free. If you want to upgrade your membership to monthly, you could do that. If you want to upgrade it and pay for the whole year, you could pay for the whole year with just a one-time fee and support me at Guilty of Crime. All right. So thank you. I have a lot of supporters over on my Ghost platform, and I appreciate you guys so much for the support. All right. When girls hang themselves, that's always a red flag to me because girls don't normally do that. Yeah, that's interesting. But she did that. And her husband tried to resuscitate her for 15 minutes. He gave her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, and she was gone. So please, guys, drop a link. Panda Ann wants to check it out, and I'm sure other people want to see the awesome stuff that we all put over on Ghost. Wendy goes to Ghost all the time. We're constantly updating the information there. All right. So please do that. If you have any case questions, you can go to guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com, or you can find Ghost on guiltyofcrime.com, everything in one place. All right, let's keep going. We still got quite a bit.
And you speak to this, Kim. The smallest daughter found them that morning, correct? And then she came and told Sarah, and then Sarah made the 911 call.
Where was Sarah?
Sarah was in the home.
No, I mean in the interim. Where was she? Who was she living with?
She's 17. She's kind of been out on her own.
Was she out on her own at the time?
No, she lived at home with her mother and stepfather at that time. But since then.
All right, we're not going to watch this whole thing. I was trying to listen to the 911 calls.
Though this is shocking to her family as well. Did you get any kind of?
But this is all the press conference, and I can show that myself on my own
We
channel.
don't know what goes through the mind.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yes.
Right.
I don't want to keep listening to the presser. All right, those are a lot of videos that she put up. I should lower the volume. Hold on. I don't want to hear this music, but I just want you to see what she was doing on those platforms. So look at her. Mom, she said in one of her TikToks, Mom. And then she does a why me. Look at her page there, guys. It's already taken down. It's already Sarah Grace. Yeah, posting all the TikToks of crying. It was all closing in. All right. Oh no, Panda Ann. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, her TikTok was full of poor me. Look, you can see Sarah Grace on the bottom, kicked in a wall. Something's broken there. I mean, TikTok after TikTok. Sorry for posting these. Look at me talk about and get it off my chest. We had matching necklaces. Both of us wore every day, all day before everything happened. Look at her just on and on, guys. Sadie's mama, hope you're feeling better from your surgery as well. All right. I mean, she just keeps on. Thank God that we have dumb criminals like that, right? All right. And yes, people being bullied, especially on a live stream like that. I'm sorry you had to run across that, Panda Ann. All right. Yeah, I never heard a 911 call in this. I can't help but hate myself because I didn't wake up. I will love you forever. Fly, my sweet angel. All right. Yeah, that's one of the most notorious ones there with her fake makeup crying. She probably threw water on herself. What an awful human being. I don't know how anybody, but I also know God and how it feels to be in lightness. He guides us to. So I know what it feels like to fight to stay. Girl, you're the one that did this to your family. If you ask me about my mom and stepdad, what about them? Finish your thing. Should probably delete, she says. I'd say I miss them so much. Man, she's really, and it says should probably delete later. Man, she even goes on to this. I tell you, I just want to go home. I feel so homesick and I miss them so much. I can't stand the fact that I can't see them. Sucks more than anything. I feel like I'm in a horror movie that never ends. I mean, this girl's playing wolf to the fullest, guys. She says, I feel like I get to feeling upset. I get to feeling upset. She doesn't look like my mom. I'm the first one in my family to graduate. Man, it's post after post after post after post. Look at me. Look at how cute I am. That sure does not look like her mugshot now, does it? Wow. Yeah. She doesn't look like a freaking 16-year-old or 17-year-old. We're giving her 7 minutes of fame, guys. She's going to get her 7 minutes of fame, and then we're going to smash it out. Also, you're going to hit the like and share this so everybody knows about this crazy, evil woman. All right, let's stop this. We're going to get down here. I hope you guys are with me here. Let's take a look. We're going to talk about now. We're going to talk about more suspects, more potential suspects. But let me take a look at you guys, what you have going on. Yeah, plastic AF, no signs of remorse. I don't know if narcotics were involved. I haven't heard anything. Remember, this just happened 4 days ago, the arrest. So we'll see. I'm going to keep you guys. Maybe you shouldn't face taking them out, Sarah, right? Sadie's mama, shout out to you. All right, I'm just trying to make sure I catch what you guys are saying. I hate calling people demons because it takes away accountability as a human, but this girl is something. Thank you, Panda Ann. I agree. And thank you guys all for being here today. I can't see chat. It's kind of flying for me. I know there's only 123 people in here. If you guys can hit that like button, subscribe, get a membership, all the things. I'll try to answer any questions as I see them. All right, let's keep going.
Enforcement says there is a mountain of evidence that makes the case that a 17-year-old who mourned her parents publicly on TikTok is actually their killer. And just clarification on that, would you say you're interviewing potential suspects in this case?
All right, so in this episode, you're going to hear about the investigation, potential suspects, and what the grandpa has to say. She's got 2 family members, and who are they pointing the finger at? This one just came out when the arrest warrant came out 4 days ago. Same here.
We are interviewing potential suspects and anyone that we feel may have information.
The spokesperson of the Carroll County Sheriff's Office tells us what red flags stood out to investigators early on in this investigation, months before Sarah Grace Patrick was arrested, now accused of murder. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. Hey, before we get started with this episode of On the Case, I want to make an announcement, and it's for all of you who love watching police body camera video. We know you love the action, but this is even better. Highlights from On Patrol Live are coming to YouTube. The show is live on the Reels.
They always do that in the very beginning.
On February 20th.
They're like,
let's
give you an
roughly
ad.
6 months to make an arrest in this case. Sarah Grace Patrick is the girl who called 911 that night.
Right. It took 6 months, guys, and look at her there, living her best life. She thinks, yeah, I gotta say that, Phyllis, I'm so sorry for the youngest child. The oldest girl is fully evil. She's a true narcissist. Thank you. Anybody that wants to say prayers for her little sister, please do. If you have the means to donate to the little girl, please do. She's gonna need a lot of therapy, a lot of help, a lot of resources. So when I find the link, I'll post it on my page as well. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the prayers for the family.
She said that her little sister,
there she is,
just
guys,
5 years old at the time, found Kristin Brock and James Brock dead in their bed. But this week we learned that even though Sarah Grace Patrick was cooperative in the investigation and publicly was calling for attention to be brought to this case that went unsolved for months, law enforcement says she is the one who killed James and Kristin Brock.
Today, we can confirm that an arrest has been made in the case. Kristin Brock's 17-year-old daughter, Sarah Grace Patrick.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Why did it do that? Sorry guys. I took off another page and for some reason it took that out. And this is why I didn't show the whole thing, because there's a whole press conference. And this is the second one.
Aggravated assault.
That was the news conference this week where law enforcement made the shocking announcement that Sarah Grace Patrick was going to be accused in these murders. And what makes it so shocking is the social media that has since gone viral as people are now looking through what Sarah Grace Patrick apparently said on apps like TikTok. I'll talk about that in just a moment. I'll also tell you why Sarah Grace Patrick's grandfather told me he's pushing back on some of the things that were said in that news conference. We'll get to that in just a moment.
Yeah, and we're not going to play the whole thing. There's a whole video that talks about what her grandpa thinks in his interview. But I just want you guys to understand what happened in this case today. Who, what, when, where, why. And hopefully we'll figure out all the in-betweens while we're covering this case. So thank you guys again for being here today and supporting my channel.
But let's talk about what we know when it comes to Sarah Grace Patrick, who is now an accused killer.
Look
she
at
was
her.
16
How could
at
you
the time
do that?
of these murders. She lived in the house with her mom, Kristin, her stepdad, James, and their now 6-year-old daughter, her half-sister. Her biological parents were the Brocks. Sarah Grace spent time with the Brocks.
She
That's
looks
where
evil.
she lived. But she also spent time with her biological dad, who law enforcement tells us was with her during interviews with law enforcement throughout the investigation. In fact, he was the one who drove her to the sheriff's office so she could be arrested.
Yeah, this is like the third episode they've done. This case has gained traction. It started on TikTok. It made it over to the news, and then YouTube got a hold of it. And I saw this case that came out, and then I saw Plunder come out with some really good information about it, and then it just spiraled. So we want to make sure this case makes it into the algorithm, guys. All right, Synth, I'm sorry I have no filter, but I gifted 5 guilty of crime memberships anyway. Thank you. I hope you guys get one that anybody that wants one, I hope you get one.
She was told that there were going to be warrants out for her arrest related to the murders of her mom and stepdad. Sarah Grace Patrick's arrest.
Look at the difference, guys. Look at that. Just to me, that's shocking. Look at her there, and then look at her and the other stuff. That doesn't look anything like her. What? All right, let's keep going. Azarabella, good to see you here.
Did come as this huge shock to so many people, partly because of the social media and the digital footprint that it appears that she left behind. She started posting TikToks in the days, weeks, and months after the murders, memorializing her mom and stepdad. And she also posted videos like this showing her crying with makeup running down her face. She spoke.
Does anyone think that she went to the sink and just patted her eyes, that she just went to the sink, took some water and smeared her? Who thinks that? Who thinks that she just patted her eyes and did that? I think she did. I think she just took water and smeared her face. All right, what's up, Tara? How you doing? All right.
At her parents' funeral at their church. Here's a clip of what she said per WSB TV.
Although there's nothing we can do to bring the...
All right, there it is. This is what I wanted you to see. It's from courtesy of WSB TV. Hopefully show a little bit longer of this clip. The way she looks to me, she looks like she's freaking like Alice in Wonderland up there. You can see her little light blue dress with she dresses all young, and poor me. Please caught on to this real quick, guys.
We still have control over how we treat people.
Not only did she mourn publicly, she was also sending messages to true crime creators on TikTok, encouraging them to cover this
Why would you ask me to cover a case where you are going to get arrested for taking your parents' lives?
That creator goes by allegedly, reportedly on TikTok. Not only does she have the direct messages that Sarah sent her, she has screenshots of the comments that Sarah left on her story, responding to people's questions. And knowing what we know now,
and you guys, we're going to hear about this, Shay. She says that she didn't get along with the stepdad. That's what she's telling her biological father and her grandpa. She's now using a self-defense for poor me. Not that I was evil and fake and I traumatized my sister and I took their lives, but no, I didn't do it. She's not going to be able to use those filters in jail. Now, is she? Now, remember, she went to 3 different TikTokers to cover her story. And then she went on to create a fake campaign for herself. What is up with this? And welcome, Panda Ann. I hope you get one before Friday. Maybe you'll be gifted. Please do come back.
What Sarah Grace Patrick is accused of, it's chilling to see. Watch.
This person commented and said, from an investigative standpoint, it would seem that it was someone who knew them, hoping for answers and swift justice. Sarah Grace, the daughter and stepdaughter of these victims who has now been arrested, said most definitely was, since they knew the house.
This week, I also spoke with Sarah Grace Patrick's grandfather. His name's Dennis Nolan. He says he believes that his granddaughter is innocent. He believes this is a rush to judgment by law enforcement. He told me that he thinks they were under pressure to make an arrest, so they honed in on his granddaughter. You can find our full conversation in yesterday's episode of On the Case here on Law and Crime's YouTube channel. He also said that Sarah Grace Patrick has called him since she was arrested from jail. Here is that part of our conversation.
I wonder if we're gonna get some jail calls on this, guys. Teresa, that was a good one, Jay, because you can't use filters in jail. Right. Amber Day, welcome. Well, you just walked in. Sarah Grace Patrick, teenager, cried on TikTok and her parents' eulogy after taking the lives of both of her parents while they sleep with a GUN. All right, Lori Minor, catch on up, girl. She turned herself in only because she had 2 warrants out for red rumming, and so she went in. And what's up, Carrie? Good to see you. You're late, and that's okay. I do want to show you the eulogy. They did not play it as much as I'd like, so I'd like you guys to definitely see that. Before I go into Grandpa, I want to play the haunting moment that she did that at the funeral, only because it's very haunting. All right, let's go.
Say goodbye to my mom and James since we never got the chance to. I was so used to you guys always being here to the point that I never once thought to imagine y'all not being here. I didn't have a single clue how much I needed y'all until now. For James, thank you for all the life lessons you taught me and for being the best bonus dad ever. Your heart will finally be.
Listen close what they're saying. She's literally giving a heart to heart, but some of the things she says fall really flat. And they say, the people that were there, that she didn't even have tears, but she kept on talking about them, of course, in the past tense. But the thing she was saying was just outlandish, guys. If she's crazy, just have to come here on the phone. See, the problem is you can't claim to be crazy when you orchestrated and planned this whole thing out, even to the T of having your little sister find the bodies. And then you go to TikTokers and say, hey, tell my story. Yeah, the best dad ever. Now he abused me. Fake. Exactly. She does look like Alice in Wonderland, though. All right, let's keep going.
Healed in heaven, and neither of y'all will be in any pain anymore. Although that gives me so much comfort, your fight was not supposed to end there. And for my mother, everything we went through does not define what kind of person or what kind of mother you were.
That's what I'm wondering. Did she? Look at her there. Yeah, bad acting. You could say that again. And again, if you guys have just got here, this is what we're talking about right here. We need justice for the Brocks. Kristin and James Brock, both shot multiple times. Police say there were no signs of forced entry and nothing appeared stolen. All right. It even shows in the warrant that she pistol whipped her mom. So she took the GUN, hit her with it, and then shot them both. Dang, man, that's brutal. Yes, I am. Yeah, you know what? Like I said, the police saw this as suspicious, and even the police department, it says family members say they grew uneasy with her behavior, especially at the funeral. Can you imagine going to a funeral, your parents' funeral, and people side-eyeing you? It must have been pretty bad in person. She must have gave them the real icks, guys. Yep. You see how suspicious they are? The niece claims she immediately saved the video of the eulogy. She's added, I knew one day everyone would get to see this for what it was. That's creepy. She's still going on and on.
Someone tries to tell you anything, no matter how unfunny it can be, just listen, because you never know what somebody's talking about.
Did you hear what she said? When somebody says something, just listen. I mean, she's literally painting herself as a victim at that funeral. Yeah, she wants to be the next Gypsy Rose. Well, good luck, girl. Get in line, because a lot of people are trying to be Gypsy Rose. I wish people would stop covering her, to be honest. If they stop covering Gypsy, maybe she would no, probably not. All right, let's listen to Grandpa for a bit. This is not the whole conversation, it's part of it. And as far as I know, this is her biological grandpa, or the grandpa possibly of the mom. Let me know if you guys know.
She's taking it very hard. She swears by her innocence.
Thank you.
Have you spoken with her since her arrest?
Yes, she called me from the jail the day after, of course, pleading for me to help her get out. And
prayers.
She was just very upset and saying, please help me. And there's not much I can do at this point.
Not much you can do, sir. You can't even get her out on bail. She was 16 when she shot them, so she's trying to be tried. She wants to be a minor and not tried as an adult. I don't think that's going to happen with what she did. And what's up, Janet Lee? The G?
I don't know what else to say. I mean, she's always been a good kid. I've always liked Sarah. She was always very friendly, and she never really asked for anything. She was a very, to me, she was just an ideal child. She just graduated from high school. She was very proud of that. She was working 2 jobs. She was doing very well.
Damn.
I don't understand what could have ever, if she did do this, what triggered it.
Law enforcement's been tight-lipped when it comes to specifics about the evidence they have that makes them so confident.
And I have not heard anything of a GUN at this time. And that's why they're still asking. If anybody knows anything, please call in. That's what they're asking. Please find, I don't have a number for Georgia, but they are urging people, if you have more information, you know anything, you heard anything, please contact them. All right. It is disgusting. Look at her. Oh, I just can't unsee her being this way, and then the other way how she looks here. She looks like she's like 12 and innocent.
That Sarah Grace Patrick murdered her mom and her stepdad, but they have said they have a lot of evidence. In fact, the word that was used was, quote, mountain of evidence. We talked to Ashley Halsey, who's the communications director for the Carroll County Sheriff, about that and the other red flags that stood out to investigators during the investigation. Here's our conversation. Joining us now is the Director of Communications for the Carroll County Sheriff's Office, Ashley Halsey. Thank you for taking the time to be with us. I know it's been a busy week. For people who have just started following this story with word of Sarah Grace.
Which good. If you guys just started following this, well, welcome and shout out. Shout out to Sirius C. Good to see you. And Lisa H. Thank you for being a member for 3 months. You say the weird things. He always liked her. Wouldn't you say over her if Wait, say over her if he's her granddad. Interesting. She's not too crazy if she went to school and worked 2 jobs. Exactly. Exactly. Bingo. And they're going to look at all that. I don't think they're going to try her as a child. I'll tell you that much.
His arrest this week. Take us back to, if we can, to February 20th, what you remember about that day and where the story really began.
February 20th, we got a call out to the residents in the community of Tyus, a very small community outside of the city of Carrollton here in Carroll County, to 2 deceased victims. Once on scene, it was apparent that they had been shot to death. And of course, the investigation began at that time. We'd received a 911 call from the now 17-year-old daughter, Sarah Patrick, who stated that her younger sister, who was 5 at the time, who is the biological daughter of both victims, had found them deceased in their bed that morning.
How would you characterize Sarah's involvement in the investigation?
I have not personally been dealing with her, but what I can say based on investigator statements,
it is wild that people actually do this. It does. I think it blows all of our mind. That's why we're here watching this. What blows my mind even more is how cold and calculating she is. And you look at her and you just see a little girl, but it's not just a little girl. There's a demon inside that little girl, because nobody would want to take the life of their parents like that unless they were harming you or doing something really nefarious, right? What's up, Space Case? How you doing? Space Cases, shout out to the crew. Yes, her 5-year-old sister found the bodies, you guys. And I do think that she was trying to get herself a TikTok famous, and then also maybe even a movie or something like that. She was urging those TikTokers to cover the case. Now, you say sociopath, not psychopath. I know they're different. I don't think I said any of them, but if I did, it was me reading something. I don't know if she's psychopath or a sociopath. Carly Gregg was tried as an adult. She was only 14. I highly doubt she can be tried in juvenile. And doesn't Carly Gregg get another shot? I think she's going to get another shot. Yeah, I've been hearing another one influenced by GRB. Evil is everywhere right now. Yes, it is. That's why you guys all with me got to stay close to the good things. Stay on the good side, guys. Stay in the light. I'm telling you, it's easier to go to the dark side than it is to be on the light, but it's much more rewarding. So stay true to yourself and to keep your spirituality growing than it is to go on the dark side. I'll tell you that right now.
They interviewed her initially. They've spoken with her 2 or 3 times, obviously, throughout the course of the investigation. And then again, prior to her arrest earlier this week, her father has been a very active role in that as well. But she has, and the family has, been cooperative. We just don't believe she has been truthful.
What about her statements? Did investigators not find truthful when she started to become?
I would love to see her interrogation, wouldn't you? And Carrie, what's up? I don't know what I had to show you that you missed, but I wanted to say hello to you and follow this case. And if you hear more about it, report back to me with those lovely skills that you have of finding things deep. I'd love to get an interrogation. I'd love to see an interrogation or even an interview with her and see what she says. And yes, Rosalie, stand in the light always, even if it's not the easiest thing to do. I promise it will pay off. I don't know why she did it either, man. I mean, why does anyone do anything? And this is why I stick to myself and a small family. I trust no one. Yes, Lynn. We gotta stay in the light, even when it's hard.
I'm a suspect in this.
When we arrived on scene on February 20th and obviously saw these deceased victims who have been shot multiple times. This is a very rural area of Carroll County. There's not a lot of ambient noise and things going on in that area. Very small home that they lived in. When the smallest child, who was forensically interviewed as
okay, yeah, we'll go say she's a hoe. Someone said, you mean when she looked like a hoe? How do we say that? She's a hoe. Space Case, I'm glad you got a membership. We got a lot of memberships gifted tonight. Thank you, ladies, for all the gifted memberships. I think it was all ladies, though.
Well, through this process, said she heard the gunshots, but the 17-year-old or 16-year-old at the time did not hear the gunshots. That was cause for pause for us early on. But again, throughout the course of the investigation, we had to look at all aspects of the case and follow where the evidence took us. And here we are.
And I know earlier this week you called the evidence against Sarah at this point that your investigators
Too much,
have a
girl.
quote, mountain
Too
of
much.
evidence. But it did take almost 6 months to bring her under arrest. It sounds like she was, you know, investigators, the red flags may have been going off pretty early on in the investigation. I know her grandfather just made a statement. I saw it on News Nation, something along the lines of if investigators had evidence, they would have, and it appears he's standing by her, they would have investigated her sooner. Why did it take so long?
We'll listen to that, but I got to tell you, right from the jump, they looked at her, the fact that her 5-year-old sister had to discover the bodies, and then she just seemed suspicious, guys. But that eulogy, if you watch the entire thing, it just throws up red flags. It's all about her, and the things she said just don't make sense. No, they haven't said, but this is in Georgia, Michelle. I'm sure that it's pretty easy to get one in Georgia. Like here, you can't, in California, guys, if you go into a store and you try to buy a GUN, first you got to go buy it. And then when you buy it, they do a background check and they check everything. And then it takes 10-day hold. And sometimes it's even longer than that. So you don't know when you're going to get one, but please, somebody tell me, if you're in Georgia, how easy is it to just go into a store, buy a GUN, buy some ammo, and walk out? I need to know that. All right, let me know if you're from Georgia. Carrie says, I have to say I'm proud of you, guilty of crime, for staying true to you and staying true to your members, viewers. You walk the talk with respect and dignity. Thank you so much, Carrie. I appreciate you. Thank you. You're my girl. All right, Kathleen, I'm late, starting at the beginning. Shout out to you, Kathleen. Thank you for being here. All right, why did she do this?
If you do have this mountain of evidence to arrest Sarah Grace Patrick.
I feel for her grandfather. I can't imagine being in his shoes and having my grandchild or child in that situation. However, as I'm sure you know, just covering crime stories throughout your career, things don't happen overnight. And when I say mountains of evidence, in the world we live in today, not only do we have forensic evidence, geographical evidence, and digital evidence, those things take time to send the search warrants off, get those returns, have the people sort through those, have the investigators look at what could be pertinent information. And unfortunately, crime labs throughout the United States are backed up. These things do not come to us as soon as we submit them. So the other thing is I think law enforcement gets a bad rap sometimes for rush to judgment. So had we immediately locked her up, I think it would be the other side of the coin.
I've never seen law enforcement rush to anything. Just kidding. You know, we love the justice system. It just doesn't always work the way that it should be. And Kathleen, I'm glad you haven't heard of it. I'm glad you're hearing it first. Tomorrow's going to be heart-wrenching when you hear about this mother that tried to sell her daughter for $400. And for what? You guys are going to be, it's huge trigger warning. Not just sell her daughter for $400 to just sell her, but for sex acts. It's awful, guys. It's a monster. It's Jen Soto 2.0 tomorrow. Barb C, thank you so much for the 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. I appreciate you. Yes, yep. Space Case. Tomorrow I'm covering Jen Soto 2.0. She tried to sell her daughter for awful things for $400. All right, it's terrible.
Where they would say, oh, they rushed to judgment and didn't thoroughly investigate the case. So I stand behind the investigation that we performed at the Carroll County Sheriff's Office. I think they did their due diligence. I think they ruled out other suspects throughout this process as well. So I think this is where it has led us. The evidence has brought us to Sarah Grace.
Sad, man.
What do we know about motive at this point?
We're still working on that.
There it is,
Still
motive.
working on it.
Do you have the murder weapon?
I can't comment on that.
And
you know what that means? They probably don't have it, is what I'm thinking. Everything I've watched in this case seems that they don't have that GUN, but you know what that means, folks? It means that there probably is another suspect, and the other suspect may just be some dude that she was dating or somebody that she hooked up with and said, hey, I'm going to get to take over this house. Maybe get some money from this. And while I'm at it, I'll get a little bit of fame too. I'm telling you, Cirrus, I have a feeling it's going to come out to be that's a motive. They don't have it yet. And yes, I need to see her confession video too. She has not really confessed though. I just want to see her video where they're interviewing her really bad.
Is she being cooperative now?
So since her arrest on Tuesday, I have not heard any new information from investigators. Obviously, I've been really busy with getting out the information that we released in the press conference. So I'm unable to speak to that at this time.
Has she confessed?
The investigators are working with her diligently.
See?
And
nope.
I know there's been a lot of talk since her name was announced as the person arrested for these murders. A lot of talk about her social media.
Now, remember, she turned herself in because they presented red rum ×2 for both parents, but they also gave her aggravated assault for pistol whipping her mom, essentially. All right. So not only did she in bed, pow, pow, in bed, she also did a little bit of pistol whipping while she was at it. That's horrible, guys. Horrible.
Especially the TikToks. And she was very active. She was reaching out to creators, asking them to bring awareness to this case. What do you make of that?
You know, I've said this a couple of times. Social media is a platform for a lot of different things. And it seems the younger generation especially wants to put every aspect of their life on social media. So when that happens, it becomes fair game in an investigation like this. And of course, our investigators have been watching the social media as well and continue to trail what is left behind after the arrest. So I would say it has played a role in this investigation also.
Right.
How often?
Ding, ding, ding under the mystic moon. And that's why I think that she has some dude involved, some kind of something with someone else, because you're right. I can't see that little girl pistol whooping anyone, and they don't have the weapon, which they didn't confirm yet, but I have a high suspicion that they don't have that evidence just yet, but they have digital evidence, which means she's connected at the time there and probably text messages and things. Some dude. Yeah. We're just going to say hashtag some dude. Panda says, I'm going to buy an island, bubble to live all by myself, dogs and pigs. Shake my head. This world's crazy. All right. I'm in that with you. Hashtag some dude.
Was she communicating with investigators over the past 6 months?
I would not be able to give you a number on that. I just know that she has been speaking with them throughout the course of this investigation.
Another part that's caught a lot of people's attention was her speaking at the funeral for her mom and stepdad. And I mean, she's very emotional. She's crying. I mean, you would, I don't know what it's like to lose a parent, of course. But was there anything she said during that just stood out to you?
So I did not personally attend the funeral. As I've stated before, anytime we have something horrific like this happen in our community, our investigators are going to attend the funeral, not only to provide emotional support to the grieving family who have lost 2 family members, but also in this case, not having the arrest by the time the funeral came, just seeing if anything did tilt your head or make you pause while you were there. And for me, watching it online, I wasn't there in person. You know, I don't know if she had real tears. I can't feel that emotion necessarily through.
Look at that. You guys can actually see right there. There are no tears, guys. There's no tears at all. She's just making those faces for people to give her sympathy. And I don't wish losing a parent on anybody, guys. Merch Babe Tiff says losing a parent makes you go numb, not in overdrive or getting information and having a yard sale or going on TikTok or contacting people there or posting more selfies of yourself looking all cute. None of that. None of that. I'd imagine. And I'm sorry for anybody that's lost anybody close to them, especially a parent. I'm grateful that I still have mine. And my mom's really just amazing. If you guys know Mama Pearl, you know how much I love her. All right. All right. No mascara, no perfect mascara like that. This can't be real. On the way to my parents' funeral.
Watching it online. However, I think, you know, it was more like a speech. It was very scripted. And then at the end,
Right?
she said, and I'm sorry. Now, she may have been sorry because she was showing emotion possibly throughout that eulogy, if you want to call it that. But she also could have said it meaning something deeper. We just may never know exactly what she meant by that, but it did raise my eyebrows.
What do we know about any documented mental health history that she's had?
I cannot speak to that at this time.
She's going to
I
use
know
that,
another
guys.
part of your news conference that has
use that.
a lot of talk is the idea that there could be more arrests. What did you mean by that?
There it is.
So basically, throughout this course of the investigation and working with Sarah, investigators have been speaking with her throughout. It's very possible that others are involved, whether they had knowledge or whether they assisted. We're still investigating that aspect. We're still conducting interviews this week. So even though an arrest has been made, and we're grateful to bring some closure to the family, as tough as that may be for them, we still have a lot of work to do. And our main goal is to
I'm sorry to anybody that lost a parent, Space Case, Tiff, anybody in chat that's talking about it. I feel like there should be some kind of groups for support with each other. And I suppose that's why a lot of you guys are here in chat, just talking about it, getting things out. Thank you. All right. And you also have my email. Anyone wants to message me about anything, it's guiltyofcrimeby@gmail.com. All right, let's keep going.
Provide full justice for those victims and closure for the families.
And just clarification on that, would you say you're interviewing potential suspects in this case?
We are interviewing potential suspects and anyone that we feel may have information.
And
I know I'm muted. Sorry about that. All right. Yep. Jay, beautiful like her mama pro. Yes, I'm going to be 46 years old and I still, even though my mom is very alive and well, I miss her. I talk to her every single day and I just love my mom. You can call me a mama's girl. I'm not muted anymore. I was muted for a second. All right. I hope you guys can hear me now. All right, let's keep going.
What would you like people who may have communicated with Sarah Grace, and we've talked to some of the TikTok influencers who had communicated with her online when she had reached out. When you're looking for more information, what specifically are you looking for from someone who may have communicated with Sarah Grace Patrick?
So I have said this throughout this week as well, and I'm very thankful for you giving me this platform to be able to come on and speak about this because, we have conversations thousands of times a day with different individuals, right? So there may be someone out there, whether it's someone local here in our community, someone that was friends with Sarah or her family, that may have had conversations throughout the course of this investigation. And now that this has come to light that Sarah is in custody, maybe those conversations mean something different now. And if that's the case, and you feel like you may hold a piece of that puzzle that will help bring continued closure for this family, then I urge anyone with that information, even if they think it's insignificant in the grand scheme of things, it could be big.
Give them a call if you know anything, if you're local, if you hear something, if you see something, say something, but also do something, guys. It's not so easy to get outside of your head and go do the thing or to make that call. But I promise once you do, you're going to feel a lot better. All right. Tiff says, I love Mama Pearl. I admire her because I see the love the two of you have. And yeah, absolutely love my mama. Love her so much. All right. I don't get why people do this. I can't fathom. I don't know what's going on nowadays in this planet. I don't know if it's because we hear more things, but I want to tell you real quick, I'm going to cover a case here in San Jose. Now, I just found out this today. This guy had his son on a visit in San Jose, 9-year-old son. He shot him and then he got shot down in a blaze by San Jose police. That just happened yesterday. So it's everywhere, guys. It's everywhere. Laura says, happy birthday, Jay. I'm July 12th and just turned 47. Yes, I forgot, guys. Happy birthday month to you guys that are Leos, that are Cancers. It's my birthday in 10 days from now. It's birthday month. It's a Leo season, baby. It's still Cancer season too, but it is Leo season. Leo season, birthday month. All right, let's keep going.
Big for us. Please contact the Carroll County Sheriff's Office and speak to us about this. If Sarah has reached out to you or you've had conversations with her that maybe doesn't sit right with you now, please reach out to us.
And just in the course of your investigation, and I know, you said the family has been cooperative, and I just think about.
You guys tell her in chat that I'm 45. I'll be 46 on July 25th. So yes, I won't shut up, Panda. I won't. I'm 45. I think my mom's like 71 or something. I hope I don't get it wrong. All right, let's keep going. Birthday month, Leos. Leos are dominating the chat. August, Leo, baby. I love my Leos. Amber, my dad was a Leo. Dawn, grandma at 3. Happy birthday, Jay. Love you. She'll take that. All right. Look at this. So we're talking about our parents and losing them, and everybody is still grieving their parent. Doesn't matter how long. That little girl right there, that was her mother that she took her life from. That little girl is Sarah Grace, and that is her mom that she took in her sleep with a GUN. My mama was a Cancer Leo, nurturer and fierce protector. Mama passed in 2017. My mom was a Cancer. My dad was a Leo. I love you guys. I love getting you guys going on that. All right. HIPAA. All right.
What they're going through, not just the loss, but having to process all of this. What did people say about the relationship that Sarah had with her mom and stepdad?
Not good.
Unfortunately, I couldn't tell you firsthand information because I have not personally spoken to the families. I, just like everybody else, the investigators have been talking to them, but I've kind of been watching their reactions through social media. So I don't have personal knowledge of what their thoughts or feelings are other than what I have seen myself on social media.
And I think about the now 6-year-old girl and the story that Sarah Grace told your investigators, that it was that young girl who found her mom and dad. I just can't imagine. Mm-hmm. Do we know whether that story actually happened, or if Sarah Grace is the one who did this? Is that something that she just told investigators on the phone?
We have reason to believe that it happened that way. I mean, through evidence and through forensic interviews, we believe that the child located them deceased that morning.
Okay.
Oh, man.
And Ashley, is there anything more? I know we talked about some of the calls for the public right now, that this is a fluid investigation, that it takes time for investigations, but what question am I not asking as I have you here now? And so many people are curious about this case. What is it that you want people to know?
I just want them to know that we have been and we are working this case. It is,
again, they still don't know. I'm sure they're going to bring in another suspect. I can't imagine little skinny mini Sarah Grace fake crying did that all alone. Just because you're right, I don't imagine her pistol whipping anybody, but somebody did it. And Sherry Helton, it's so good to see you. I see you in my emails, and I see the messages you sent. August 7th, Leo Power. My dad was a Cancer. Yes, it's also Cancer season, guys. All right, Janet Lee, anybody that was late. Vanessa, you're a strong Leo. August 5th. Yeah, mine's July 25th. 10 days, baby.
It's not something that has been put on the wayside. We've been working it since the day we stepped foot on the property on February 20th. We will continue to work it until we get the answers that not only we seek, but so that we can talk more to the public, hopefully in the maybe days, weeks, and months to come, to be able to provide a full picture. You know, we may never know what went through Sarah's head. We may never get the full story, but hopefully we can provide further clarity and more answers, especially to the family, because they're the ones that deserve it over everybody else. And at the end of the day, the 5-year-old sister, she is 100% the true innocent victim in all of this.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely agree. I just keep thinking about that little girl. I know you're keeping some things close to the vest, and I understand that with the investigation, but what is the timeline of when you would believe that we could learn more about this, in your words, mountain of evidence against Sarah Grace Patrick?
So because we're in the phase that we're in now, she's been charged. Obviously, there's still evidence that's being processed as we speak. So, you know, hopefully throughout the process, you know, getting with the district attorney's office, seeing.
That's interesting, because that was a partial thought of mine, that she was an older child. It seems like she was already out doing stuff on her own, working 2 jobs. It seems like she was just out with, you know, boyfriends doing whatever. And that's a real good assumption, that she was jealous of the baby. I'm so glad she didn't take that baby's life. although she is going to be traumatized, at least she has her life. I hear so many times that when somebody takes their family's life, like the parents, they also take the sibling with them. So I got to say a prayer for that sibling she doesn't get washed away in the, aftermath of all this. Poor little girl. Prayers for her.
How they're going to handle this case. I believe that's when you would learn more. It'd really be up to the district attorney's office once the indictment comes to be able to shed more light on that aspect of the case.
And is there a timeline of when there could be more arrests?
No, not at this time. Still investigating. Still a very fluid, active case while we speak.
Yes. Let's see what's happening.
The Director of Communications for the Carroll County Sheriff's Office. We really appreciate your time. Thanks for being here on Law and Crime.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Sarah Grace Patrick is charged with 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of aggravated assault. That will do it for.
Yep. So maybe she did that. Maybe she pistol whipped both of them. For some reason, I had only seen that particular one. Now, under the Mystic Moon 111, you say my oldest has been jealous of her little sister, my baby, and that happens. But to be jealous for so long, my children are 15 years apart, and that happened, but not like that. And Panda Ann, thank you. Shout out to you for saying that. I appreciate it. I'll take it. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love each and every single one of you. What a day it was today. Like I said, every day we're going to have a new case. As long as I don't have something to follow up on with the older cases, then I'm going to come back and hit you with another case. Again, tomorrow is going to be 2.0 Jen Soto for selling her baby to men for $400 to do whatever with her. Catherine says, sorry for being off topic, Jay, but thank you for the membership. I wish I could join legit, but all my extra. Hey, you don't worry about that, Catherine. I'm so glad that you're here. No worries. I don't ever offer me an apology on why you X, Y, and Z with your money. You do you, and you come here. We still treat you right over on Guilty of Crime. All right. So thank you. Crystal M says, Synth. Rachel says, what the? You guys, I know the hour and a half goes by so quick. I was, when I was looking at a lot of my new recordings, I was thinking, man, I could totally just hop on here and record an episode in like 40 minutes if I didn't do live streams, right? I didn't do a live stream. I just came, recorded, hopped on, hopped off, but I would miss you guys. Lori says, I talk to my mom every day too, Jay, and I'm 54. Yes, I talk to my mom every single morning, sometimes at night, but every single morning. All right. I love my mom. All right. Let's see some shout outs. It's hard to make tomorrow's live. It's hard sometimes. And you know what? You just go ahead and do the rewatch. You're going to want to see that one. That's a crazy case. I hope you got the receipts because I'd hate for her family. Oh yeah, absolutely. HIPAA. I'm not sure exactly what we're referring to, but yeah, we definitely have the receipts. Definitely have the receipts for sure. All right, guys. I talked to my mom. She's hanging out with Jesus in heaven. All right. I love you guys. Go check out Ghost. You can just go to guilty/of/crime.ghost, or you can type in ghost.org and look up Guilty of Crime. You can sign up for free, get all of our different newsletters. If you want to sign up for more, you get case documents, videos, information, all that stuff. So tomorrow, guys, Jen Soto 2.0 for selling her child for $400. You're never going to convince me that Jen Soto is not guilty of many things. One of them being giving her daughter to a predator and handing her over for monetary gain and her DRUGs. All right. In my opinion, just saying. All right, Wendy, love you, Jay, and the whole crime crew. Meant I'll try hard. Okay, you guys do your due. And I will see you tomorrow. Thank you guys for all the memberships that you gifted and supporting the channel. All right. On that note, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.
Guilty of Crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty